Hey guys, you're watching Desimartini and my name is Zinia. Today we have with us none other than Reshma from Sardar Udham. Yes, we are talking about Banita Sandhu. Banita, welcome to Desimartini.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We are more excited to have you, and honestly, the way you portrayed Reshma, the way Sardar Udham panned out, it's been amazing. How are you feeling? I mean, maybe it's a very silly question. You're feeling excited, but yeah, with all this appreciation pouring in, how is it?
I just feel like overwhelmed. I never expected it. I always knew the film was going to be amazing because it's Jiu-Jitsu and Vicky, and it's got such an important story at the heart of it, but I never expected the response to my role at all. So I'm just feeling very, very lucky and grateful right now.
The roles that you have portrayed majorly in Hindi films have always been very poignant. And Reshma was someone, while her role in the film was very short, the screen time, if I might say so, she had a lingering effect on who Sardar Udham was. And, the fact that he took an oath on He Rancha is a testification of how deep their love was. So when you were given this role, how did you prepare for it? What was your mental makeup like to play this role?
I think one of the main things is Jiu-Jitsu told me that the character's deaf and mute. So the first thing I had to do was start learning ISL, Indian Sign Language. And in particular, there's kind of like a Punjabi variation. And bear in mind, the film is set 100 years ago. So, even the way they would speak verbally was different. So sign language also. So we were kind of just trying to get the technicality of that right. So I kind of came to Amritsar, I think about a week before I started shooting. I worked with my tutor Neelam Ji, and she's a teacher at the Pingalwara School for the Deaf and Mute. So I got to visit that school almost every day, meet the kids there, watch them in class, interact with them. They were so sweet. They would even enact my scenes for me, and I would film and I'd send to Jiu-Jitsu and be like, what do you think? And some of the kids came on set with me as well, and they got to see kind of how a film was being shot. So it was such a wonderful learning experience, and it was great. I got to learn from the youth of Punjab as well, and they were so sweet. I have such fun memories. So that was the main thing I had to prep for. And then after that, I was quite lucky because there's not much written on Reshma. I don't think there's actually anything written on Reshma on Google or online. So I didn't have the pressure that Vicky or Amol had in playing like a real life, historical figure. So I got to play on set after that, and I really enjoyed it.
Wow. Also, one of the scenes that have been etched in our memory, one is the scene that you shared with Vicky where he shows how the machine works, and another is when the Jallianwala Bagh massacre happens. Yeah. And everything is ending. That's one scene that's given us goosebumps, that's made us cry and lingered on for so long. Even now when I speak, I can feel that scene. How was it filming that scene?
It was a lot. And, the team did such a good job of making everything feel so real. It was almost jarring because it felt like we were there, and there were thousands of actors on set at a time. And Veera Kapuri, our costume designer, did such a good job in dressing everyone. The production design and sitting there when we were filming it and everyone running, and we had the safety, and I had to keep reminding myself of, we're just doing this for camera. We're in a safe space. If it ever gets too much, I can just yell stop, cut, Jiu-Jitsu can say cut, and everything stops and we go back to normal life. But it would hit me that people actually lived through that and lost their lives to that. And even rewatching it now when it came out, I was sobbing again. And I was, I saw how it was made. I saw that scene and I was a part of it. And it was just, it was a lot. And I remember after shooting that scene in particular, I came home to the hotel and I called my mum, who was in the UK at the time, and I just was sobbing, crying, especially as a Punjabi. As an actor, it was very rewarding, but as a Punjabi, it was really traumatic and horrifying and haunting to kind of live through that, because I'd heard stories of my late grandmother and the atrocities she faced in Punjab during that time, in history especially. So it kind of made me feel really connected with her, but it also felt like I was experiencing some kind of generational trauma. But I'm just really proud that this story is being told and I got to be a part of it. So yeah.
When you play when you are a part of a scene like this one, it stays with you. Did it take a lot of time for you to get out of it, and how did you get out of it?
I think honestly, it's always going to sit with me. I think it was even, because I would hear stories about my late grandparents living in Punjab, and I heard that throughout my childhood. So it's never something that would ever leave me. And then I'd actually heard of Sardar Udham saying, like, before Shujitsa even spoke to me about him, like my dadima would tell me stories about the freedom fighters. So it's something that has been with me, was with me, and will always be with me. I don't think you can let something like that go.
Okay, yeah, because as viewers, if it was so impactful for us, I will probably never be able to imagine what you guys went through while being a part of it, shooting it, and, filming it all. Also, Banita, your upcoming film is going to come very soon, and you had been shooting in Calcutta for that one.
Yes.
Yes, and while you had been shooting in Calcutta in January, there had been rumors about COVID report, and all got very out of hand. How did you deal with everything at that point in time?
I think what was most important at that point in time was everyone's safety. And, it was at a peak of the pandemic. The Delta variant was on the uprise. I fortunately was negative the whole time. Unfortunately, there was one false positive report. So because of protocol, I had to stay in hospital and make sure that whatever that false positive wasn't dangerous, which it wasn't because I was negative. But, it was difficult. But at the same time, what is a week or 2 weeks of my life in the long run of things when people were literally dying in the pandemic? And if that's something that I had to sacrifice and stay locked up in a room for the safety of others, I would do it 100 times over. So, yeah.
Wow. Also, speaking about Sardar Udham, going back to Sardar Udham, there have been so much praise coming your way for the character you played and how you portrayed it. Was there any particular compliment that really touched your heart and you remember it?
Honestly, it's been really overwhelming. I've had a lot of filmmakers reach out in particular, which has been super rewarding, and they've just really enjoyed my presence on screen. But I think for me, like the biggest compliments was from Shujitsa and Vicky when I posted, the picture of all of us in Punjab, just kind of reminiscing of our time there. And they said such wonderful things about me being poetic on screen. So to hear that from them really touched my heart. Like I was like, am I living in a dream? So yeah.
And finally, what's next for Banita?
So what's next is I have a movie called Kavita and Teresa coming out in a couple months on the life of Mother Teresa. And then I do actually have another release in India coming, I think early next year. But I'm not allowed to say anything about it. I wish I could. All I can say is the cast is amazing, and I'm really excited for that one as well.
We are looking forward. We are absolutely looking forward to watching you on screen again, and with that power-packed performance that you delivered with Sardar Udham and before that with October. It's like we would want to see you with Shujitsa again, because this collaboration is something that is like, it's like firecracker, it's amazing.
I'm already asking him, like, what's next? Like, I'll let you know. But yeah, thank you.
Hoping that we'll get to see more of you on screen, and thank you so much, Banita, for joining with Desimartini. It was amazing having you here.
Thank you. I really enjoyed your questions. Have a great day.
Same to you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.